So how you feeling?
Contractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did the doctor just say? Or the nurse?
She's gonna go talk to the doctor to see what can happen.
So right now she's 3 centimeters, so we might go through today, and at the end of the day, the baby might be here.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
We were expecting her to come Thursday, so
nothing's prepared.
wow, if we see her today though. Aww.
I think she's ready. She's been just hopping up and down.
Yeah, the nurse says she's doing somersaults, and apparently she's been doing somersaults all night.
Yeah.
She's an active gymnast.
Gymnast. Yeah, she's active.
All right, we'll keep you updated.
Bye.
Okay. Hi, welcome to my channel. So, my birth story. I'm gonna be really emotional. I hope I don't get teary-eyed or anything while I discuss my story. I have baby right here. She's in her cradle, so I have to manually push her because if I turn it on, it makes a ticky noise and that might be annoying. So, just a heads up, just a warning. In this video, I'm gonna be talking a lot about medical stuff, of course. Medical information, bodily functions, weaker stomach, or if you're just a faint of heart type person. Just a heads up, this video will be very detailed and descriptive. I just want to include is that I don't think my birth story journey is so traumatic or negative. I didn't have a negative traumatic experience. I would say overall my birth story went well, or I should say my birth experience went well. It was pretty neutral. Things got done how it was supposed to get done, and that was it. The only thing I would say that was unbearable and hard to deal with was the pain, of course, because I had to get surgery. The pain felt like I got hit by a car several times, and they kept driving on. Also, maybe at the end of the video, I may have you meet Honor for the very first time. Yeah? Would you like that? Alright, so a little bit of backstory. I had to get a myomectomy, which is fibroid removal surgery, about 2 years ago. It's been exactly 2 years now. And a myomectomy is when they surgically remove fibroids from your womb. And my doctor removed about 8 fibroids on my surgery day. I was told that it can help improve my fertility and have a fresh, clean start. I went ahead and did it. I had good results. Everything went well. I was told as a part of the surgery process that if I take the risk of doing this surgery, I may end up having to have a C-section if I give birth in the future. And I understood that risk, and I still did it. Then, about 6 months into my pregnancy, I was told devastating news that it's best for me to go ahead and just get the C-section when it's time for delivery. And my doctor explained to me it's because I felt pregnant so soon after that fibroid surgery. I felt pregnant about 9 months later after that surgery. My doctor explained that having a C-section would be best to avoid uterine rupture and other complications during birthing. So if you happen to need a myomectomy or fibroid removal surgery, this may happen. You may have to end up having a C-section. I did try to do BBAC, but my doctor very good at what he does, so he highly recommended for me just to go ahead and get my delivery done via C-section. After the appointment, I went back to my car and I just cried. I was like, I don't want to have another surgery done. I told my husband, and he said, you know, it is the safest, healthiest option. Okay, dropping it. Here we go. My husband works in healthcare, so my husband recommended as well he understood it's the safest, reliable option because it's about the safety of the baby and myself during delivery. Were to choose to have things done differently, I would have wanted a regular labor, a regular delivery. I would love to push, but I don't think it's gonna be in my future. I don't think so. But she's here, safe and sound. We moved into this house March 1st of this year, 2023. And after we moved in, I had to do a lot of unpacking, organizing, cleaning, all that stuff that comes with moving. And I was already 9 months pregnant. I was tired. I was ready just to get the baby out. You know how it's like if you've been there being pregnant. And so my doctor, when I was 6 months pregnant, scheduled my C-section for Thursday, March 23rd. That's when he was going to be available. It was planned out 3 months in advance already. Like we were just waiting for this day to happen. The next day, Monday, March 20th, I did a couple of errands. Later on that night, I made some homemade chili. I remember clearly. We had some paperwork to do for the house still. My husband had to work the next morning around 5 or 6 a.m. And so all throughout the night, I had to keep using the bathroom, which is normal when you're pregnant. So when he got up to get ready to go to work around 5, I got up to use the bathroom. And then when I used the bathroom, when I wiped, I noticed a streak of blood. And I was like, oh. I was very nonchalant about it. And then so before my husband left out the door, I told him, and my husband immediately was like, let's go to the ER. So if things is happening, let's go to the ER. So anyway, my husband works in healthcare, so he was pretty anxious and he was more worrisome about what was happening, and I was just more nonchalant. I was sleepy, tired. I was just like, it's another symptom, because I had a lot of symptoms when I was pregnant, like a lot of unusual and normal symptoms. It was just, I had a lot of symptoms when I was pregnant. So I figured it's just another symptom, another weird symptom that I had. I had to deal with it all 9 months. So I was like, it's just another weird symptom. I'm gonna go back to bed. He was like, no, let's go to the ER right now. We're gonna get into the car. Let's go now. And so I didn't get to finish packing my hospital bag at all. He just said, leave it. We'll get it next time. We'll get it later. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need it, most likely. So we got into the car. It was dark outside. It was cold. I only had time to grab a little bag of like maybe a few clothes or something. And then we got to the hospital. They admitted me in, all that stuff, got me into a room. They hooked me up to all the machines and all that to hear the baby's heart rate, all that stuff. They connected me to a machine that monitors contractions and everything. I forget what it's called, but the contractions monitor thing that goes on your belly or your abdomen, and it tells you the rates of your contractions, like, you know, how big they are, how small. And apparently I was having contractions, and I was actually 3 centimeters dilated. 3. When you're scheduled to get a C-section, you want to avoid laboring because it can, well, depending on why you need a C-section, it can cause further complications. So my doctor wanted to avoid having uterine rupture in my case. And then so I was 3 centimeters dilated. Because of my situation, it's been noted that I would need a C-section that Thursday. They called my doctor, and he claimed to be sick. And then his other assistant, his brother that works with him, he was unavailable. Go figure, when you're about to have a baby, no doctor's available. So my original doctor was not available, and his partner, his brother who works with him, was not available. I was like, oh great. So they had to ask another doctor that was available that could accept my insurance if he can do the surgery, the C-section. And he was available, and they said we had to do the surgery today, like right now. And it was about maybe 7:30 in the morning, and and I was sleepy, tired, I was in pain from the contractions. Don't grab it. It was my first time feeling contractions. And then so after that, they told me that the baby will come out and she needs to come now. So they had to prep me for the surgery. It was about maybe 8:30 or so. They got me into the surgery room finally. They got the epidural in, which was a lifesaver. They pushed a needle right into the lower part of your back. After that, once they inserted the epidural and it kicked in, I was numb. Loved it. I'm not a big fan of pain. I love it. So it was the best invention mankind made for pain tolerance. After that, when it kicked in, I felt kind of lifeless, like weak. You cannot walk, of course, because everything is numb. They scooped me up off the table thing, put me over into another little smaller, the surgery table, and it was like very narrow. Luckily, I'm small and petite because I fit perfectly on it, but. And then after that, they put the curtain thing over. They have to spread your arms out, tie them down, so that way you don't make sudden moves. That's why they tie you down during the C-section, I was told. So you don't jerk up or make sudden moves because they're cutting you. Then after that, they did the operation. They did an announcement thing, like the announcement of what was going to happen, the surgery process, like, we're here today on this day, Tuesday, March 21st, and right now we're going to be doing XYZ operation with my name and everything, and it was pretty cool at an announcement. And then after that, they allowed my husband to come in to take photos and videos and to watch and everything. And then, not even like 20 minutes later from the time of like starting, they pulled her out and she came out. My husband said he got to watch the whole process, and he said my body was just moving on the surgery table. Like you could tell what they're doing. And I kept hearing a vacuum sound, if I remember. I kept hearing vacuum noises, sucking noises. I won't get into too many details about that. And yeah. Then after that, I don't remember, it was like a blur how I got off the surgery table to my actual patient room. Okay, and then after that, during the prepping of my surgery, they gave me morphine and some other medicine. And the morphine was making me itch. I didn't know much about morphine until then, but I was extremely itchy. Even during the surgery process, I kept asking one of the nurses or whoever to scratch my scalp and my shoulder area. Morphine is the worst thing ever. I never want to be on morphine ever again. I don't recommend it. Maybe next time I'm going to skip it if I can. I do not like morphine. It's just horrible. It's itchy. It's very uncomfortable. I don't like it. So they gave me, I think, hydrocortisone, which gives me a headache, if I remember, like dizzy headache. Another type of pain relief. I didn't have my metal stitches like I did with my fibroid surgery. They use a type of glue called Durabond, and I hated it. I just felt sticky after. Just sticky, and I just didn't like it. It's a weird medicine. It's just like a type of closure when you have surgery. I prefer the metal stitches, like the myomectomy that I had. Anyway, so I was in the hospital for 2 days, and yeah, other than that, everything went well. Once the epidural wore off, the leftover pain from the surgery kicked in. That was not fun. And the morphine took nearly 2 days to metabolize out of my body. So I was scratching for nearly 2 days. And then they kept giving me another medicine to stop the itchiness of the morphine. So then I kept asking for that other medicine. I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of that medicine. But it stops itchiness like instantly. It works extremely fast. Yeah, it was just a lot of different medicines. The next day was Wednesday, the 22nd. My family came to visit, and my husband's family came to visit. They brought dinner because I'm not a fan of hospital food. And then we had to sign papers for her birth certificate and everything. Yeah, and then she came out. She weighed 7 pounds and I believe 4 ounces. 7 pounds and 4 ounces. She was, I think, 20 inches long, if I remember. So yeah, her original due date for the scheduled C-section was Thursday, March 23rd, which would have been kind of cool to have 3/23/23, right? Like March 23rd, 2023, but she came Tuesday, March 21st, 23. So it's like 3, 2, 1. So overall, my birth experience wasn't too traumatic. It wasn't too traumatic. It wasn't too negative. I would just say next time I want things to be done differently. Like as far as the medicines that I had, like the morphine and the Durabond, which is like the glue stitches they give you now. Possibly, I may have to have another C-section if I were to fall pregnant again in the future. I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen. I guess it's okay as long as I get to have a healthy baby at the end of it. Yeah. I had to heal for about 6 to 8 weeks. So one thing that was really, really scary during my 2-day stay at the hospital was that I think it was the last day of staying there, the second day of staying there, I kept passing really big, huge blood clots, like huge, and I think it was my uterus shrinking down because that's when I started the nursing process with breastfeeding and her latching and everything, and that was just so scary. I've never in my life seen blood clots that big, like straight from the uterus. Okay, so here is little Miss Honor. She is now 8 months. She's very vocal. Here she is. Honor, say hi. Say hi. Hi. So it is her nap time actually. So that's why she's very vocal. Yeah, I'm grateful I got to experience this part of life, and I'm glad to have a healthy. Okay. All right, you want me to go? Okay. I'm so glad I got to have a healthy baby. Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Until next time. Bye.